Today, I'm introducing you to the motivational Slim on Starch client of mine, Amy, who you will not believe is nearing 60 in post-menopause because she absolutely glows. It must be that plant-based diet, huh? Coming into the program post-menopause, Amy was feeling a little bit heavy and had gained some menopause weight. She wanted to, of course, release the weight and feel better, but ultimately she wanted to not be thinking about food and dieting 24/7 and wanted to find a lifestyle around food that could sort of operate on autopilot in the background while she lived her busy life. How did all of this go? Well, Amy worked with myself as well as her nutrition coach, Meg, and her mindset coach, Danny. And in Amy's words, she was able to lose weight, find a way of eating that she wants to maintain for the rest of her life. She feels good after she eats. She's not restricting calories, not thinking about food 24/7. The weight is going down. Things are looking up. And today she's sharing her story.
Before we met, I was in full menopause. So menopause really kicked my butt. And I gained a bunch of weight, and that really, really bothered me. I probably weighed as much as I did back in college, which was 1982, 1983, and I just was very uncomfortable. And so that was a real issue for me. But I always had an extra 10 pounds all the time, and I just never really knew exactly how to deal with it. I tried all kinds of diets, and I gained everything back plus, and it was just extremely frustrating. But being in menopause, my body's different. The food I eat has to be different. And so, when I looked into your program, I was like, I love all these foods and this sounds really fantastic. And it was excellent.
How did you feel at first seeing all these foods, knowing that probably all the diets that you would come from said, oh no, stay away from carbs, stay away from
Right,
foods. You're in
right.
menopause now. Things look different. Were you skeptical at all?
I was very skeptical. I can't even talk. I'm a speech
No.
therapist and I can't even talk. I was, but I'm like, this obviously works. I can see it on other people. I looked at your clients. I watched all your YouTube videos. So I knew there was something to it. And I was just like, I have to try this. I have to try this. One of the issues too that I have is I am a home health speech therapist. So I'm on the road all day. So I see probably 6 or 7 patients a day. I'm on the road. I go to their house. I'm in the car a lot. So I've had to learn how to not go through drive-throughs, pack enough food to eat in the car so I don't get super hungry. That has been a huge challenge probably over the last 10 years. So this was a life changer for me. This type of eating, this lifestyle, life changer, because I learned how to food prep. I learned what foods to eat because I pretty much eat in the car every single day of my work day.
You noted before we started working together that you were thinking about food and dieting 24/7, it felt like.
hmm
Can you tell
hmm
us what your mind looked like at that time?
I think I was thinking about it constantly because, like I said, I'm in the car all day, very sedentary job. I'm driving and then I go see patients and I sit with them. So being sedentary is a big issue. So I was always thinking, well, I can't eat that much food because I haven't expended any energy today. And so I was thinking about food all the time. And plus, I was hungry because I did never packed enough food. So I would drive through and then I'd feel crummy. And so I was thinking about like diets and food and what can I do, with the lifestyle that I have.
Mm.
And it kind of consumed me a little bit, which I think most people have. They think about diets all the time. It's in their face all the time.
Mm. And you had said as well, not just mentally and emotionally was this clouding things up, but physically, you said you were dealing with some bloating too and some heaviness around
hmm
digestion.
Yep, stomach issues has been a big problem too. Um, I don't have any celiac or any issues. Just certain foods just don't agree with me anymore. But I never could really figure it out. I've been tested. I'm not allergic to anything, but there are certain foods I know I definitely cannot eat. And even with the program, I learned what I can eat and what I can't eat because of your great team. They really helped me figure it out.
So what were some of the changes you initially made with starting our work together?
Oh, immediately was packing all my food for the day for work. That was a game changer because I knew that I had to have enough food for the day, and it was so easy. It was so easy. The the kiss meals, amazing because really they are so easy. Keeping it simple is absolutely the way to go. And it is so easy. And I followed your program with, keeping it simple. And I had enough food all day. I was never overly hungry, which was a big problem because if I was overly hungry, I'm going to drive through somewhere and get something unhealthy. So that really, really helped me was learning how to make simple meals with simple food, very minimal ingredients, if any, and having it taste good and keeping me full all day long. And the biggest game changer for me was the hunger fullness cues. I used to eat until I was in pain. And then I knew I was full.
Mm.
If I didn't have a stomach ache, I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'm not full. So until I felt that almost uncomfortable feeling, then I'm like, oh, I guess I'm full now.
Mm.
But I don't do that anymore. I've learned the hunger fullness cues, and that has helped me so much.
That's two really big lifestyle changes to make. The first is going from, not really having much food as you're out and about all day to always
Mhm.
making sure that you have something. And then on top of that, to hone in on your hunger fullness cues. I know that a lot of people, they hear the great results that you have and they want the results, but perhaps aren't realizing that there is a lifestyle change that has to come with it. So,
Mhm.
how did you go about navigating that big lifestyle change of prepping all of your food and always making sure that you had the SOS food ready for the day?
It was actually much easier than it sounds. I mean, it was very, very easy. I did a lot of rice and beans and veggies, and I did what you talked about. You talked about getting the frozen veggies and the steamables, and it makes a huge difference. It's very easy. It's not hard. It's a very easy way of eating. The food's excellent. It's fresh. It tastes good. So you kind of want to keep doing it when you're like eating this way and you're eating a lot of food, but it's good for you and it's low calorie. You just want to keep on doing it because it also makes you feel good.
Mm.
You feel better eating this way. You're full, you're satisfied. And for me, I definitely did not get as much stomach issues as I used to, for sure.
That was going to be my next question was how did you start to feel? And it sounds like you answered that one for me. You just started to
Yeah.
feel better.
Oh, I felt so much better. There are a couple foods that I know I can't deal with, such as chickpeas, which I love, but then I learned they don't love me. So, so I just do other types of beans, and that's okay. But yeah, my stomach feels a whole lot better, and I'm learning a lot more about if I overeat, the stomach issues start happening. And just a few certain foods I just have to avoid now, but it's so much better, so much better.
And I know that weight loss is one of your goals, which you lost weight consistently throughout the
Hmm.
program. But even more so than that, you were looking for something that you wanted to maintain and you could
Yeah.
sustain for the long term. Do you want to talk a
Hmm.
little bit about that and how this lifestyle has worked into that?
Oh, it's been great because it's so easy and it's food that I love. And so it's very easy to maintain it. It's not a fad diet. It's not something that, you stop eating and you're going to gain all your weight back plus more. It's nothing like that. It's an actual lifestyle that you will want to do. And the more you eat this way, the more you crave it. Because it really does make you feel good and it's simple. It's a simple lifestyle, and you can go out to eat and still hang out with your friends and still order foods that are on this lifestyle. I'm not even going to call it a diet because it's really not a diet. Um, and it just makes you feel so much better. It really, really does. And when you feel better, you crave this way of eating.
What tips do you have for those that are like you, very busy, eating in the car, going from place to place, maybe not having access to a kitchen or always being able to heat up their
Mhm.
food?
Um, you don't have, I never heat up my food. I just eat. I watched the video of your dad the other day when he was
Yeah.
at jury duty and he said, he ate his food, didn't warm it up. And that's kind of what I do every day. I don't warm up my food because I really don't need to. It still tastes great. I don't need to, do anything. I make yummy sauces and it just tastes great. And so I don't have a problem eating in the car without warming it up. Um, it's a super easy lifestyle. I'm very busy in the car. And what was the question again?
Well, you answered it. You said, you can
Menopause.
do this stuff. It doesn't have to be heated up, even if
No,
you're on the go and
yeah,
you're going from place to place.
yeah. You don't have to heat it up, and it's great because it still tastes excellent.
Mhm.
And if you like, you can't do this type of eating, you really can't because it doesn't have to be heated up. It doesn't have to be gourmet. It could be simple: rice, beans, legumes, your favorite sauces, um, and it all comes together, and you look forward to it when you're hungry.
One of
So,
Yeah. One of the big accomplishments that you made in the program was, wow, I'm losing weight and I'm not restricting my calories. What did
I
that
never
mean
even
for you?
thought about my calories.
Good. What did that look like for you in the past?
Oh my gosh, in the past, I would think about calories and I'd weigh myself all the time. And I'm sure like some days I ate too much. And then if I ate too much, I would restrict the next day. And that's never good, of
Mm,
course. But I learned that you don't think about calories because your body will tell you what you need. And I'm not thinking about calories or carbs. Everybody around me is talking about, oh, that's so many carbs you're eating.
mm.
But I don't ever think about it. It's just great.
How do you navigate that when people are commenting about your food?
I just say, well, it makes me feel good. I'm not gaining weight. I feel great. I'm one that kind of holds fluid in the body, and I tell them I'm not retaining fluid. My stomach feels better. So, I'm like, I'm just eating real food with no ingredients versus what they're eating. And I think people just have a warped sense of what carbs are
Mhm.
and what your body really needs for fuel.
Yeah. Focusing on what makes you feel good and not eating it in any other way to make other people feel comfortable. Other
Hmm.
people's comfort should not be the driving decision for the fuel that we put into our body. Our comfort and how we feel needs to be that driving decision.
Oh, that is so, so true. So true. Especially because one of my is a food philosophy. One of mine is hanging out with my friends and going out to eat and doing fun things like that. Because all my friends, we love to just go out to eat and do little happy hour and just fun things together after work. And they eat very different. And for me, I eat because I eat certain things because it definitely makes me feel good. And so, navigating that, it just makes me happy being with my friends and being with my kids and my husband. So eating a certain way, I just know it makes me feel good. It makes me happy. So that's really all that matters is, feeling good, being happy, and definitely not thinking about other people, what they're looking at you, why are you eating that?
Mm.
It doesn't even phase me anymore because I just know that when I'm eating makes me feel good. That's all that matters.
I know something that you really worked on during the course of our work together was navigating how your husband does eat meat products and would cook things that were pretty close to
Hmm.
SOS, but did have some meat in them. You are,
Hmm.
I know that everybody just turned the volume up on their podcast because they say, I'm in the same situation. So, what would you say to these individuals that have partners that eat meat
Hmm.
products?
Every night, he makes something with meat every night. He's the cook in the family. We're empty nesters, so it's just him and I at the end of the day. But he does all the cooking mostly. I do a few meals here and there, but yeah, his are meat. It's steak, it's rack of lamb, it's hamburger. So I tried to explain what I was doing, but I'm like, he's not going to get it. So I just showed him. I said, this is how I'm going to start eating. And so, did I do it 100% right away? No. I slowly decreased the meat in my diet. Am I 100% doing it? Not 100%, but really close. It's hard because he's making the food, and you don't want to say, "Oh no, I'm not going to eat that,"
Mhm.
because I have a new lifestyle of eating. I don't want to hurt his feelings because he loves to cook and he loves to serve people, and so cooking is love for him. And so part of it is I don't want to make him feel bad. So instead of maybe eating the chicken that he made, I would fill the plate up with lots of veggies and salad, and he would eat all that too. And I would just added maybe some beans to it instead of the meat. So I just slowly incorporated telling him, I'm not eating that much meat, don't make that much food. It just slowly sort of evolved, but food is love for him. So it was a little hard for me to incorporate no meat every single night. That was tough. And I'm still working on it. It's not 100%, but it's so much better. And he's understanding it more. So he might make himself a steak and then I'll make myself something, but we still have the same sides. So that makes it really easy. It's just one change that I have to make every night.
Yeah, it's finding the common ground and finding foods that
Hmm.
both of you enjoy. Both of you enjoy potatoes and vegetables and rice and
Yeah,
beans, because you don't want your partner to feel attacked. If, like you said, for him, food is love. You don't want him to feel like, oh, she doesn't want to receive my love anymore. She doesn't love me
right.
anymore. She doesn't want my food. So how can we, instead of viewing SOS as a cult or a religion where you have to
Hmm.
abide by it 100%, as you know, by going through the program, that's not the philosophy that I take to it.
Right.
I instead believe that your health is a reflection of the whole plant foods that you pull into your diet. And that's the way that you went about this, is how many whole plant foods can I pull in here? Well, when I'm at work, I can eat whole food plant-based. My first meal of the day can be whole food plant-based.
Hmm.
And maybe there's a little bit of animal products. And I know by the end of the program, you were having it, just a couple times a week.
Right.
You really made huge improvements.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I'm still very, very much like that. I've made huge improvements and I feel so much better. And my husband, it doesn't hurt his feelings. He still cooks every night, but you're right. I pulled all the rice and the beans and the plant-based foods into it because he likes all that too. So I just incorporated all that. And pasta is a biggie because that I can incorporate easily with him and he likes that. So yep, it's a lot easier than it looks. It really is. And when you start kind of modifying a few things, it's not that hard. It really isn't. And it didn't hurt his feelings and everything's great.
You went on vacation during the program.
Hmm.
And if we
Hmm.
look at your weight chart, you lost weight every week in the program. So, what say you to somebody who maybe is in the program right now that has a vacation coming up?
Right. I was a little nervous because I was just in the beginning of the program, but it worked. So in the morning, I made my oatmeal and I made fruit, and it was really easy because everybody else wanted that too. So we cooked a lot of meals in, which was great because I could incorporate all my foods with everybody else's foods. And of course, meat every single night, just about. But it really wasn't that difficult. I have a different mindset about food now. So my choices are much different. So if we went out to eat a few times, my choices are a lot different. And then, if we were cooking at home, I just incorporated a lot of the same SOS foods and everybody loves them because it's all the foods that everybody likes anyway. You're just incorporating them a little bit differently.
Beautiful.
So it really wasn't that difficult. It really wasn't. Because when you start eating this way and you start feeling better, there's certain things you don't want. For me, like ice cream, it doesn't make me feel good at all. So I never want it. But everybody went out to ice cream every single night at the beach. But it doesn't make me feel good. So I never craved it. But, but I still was with everybody. I still was, part of the family and part of every single activity. But I just looked at food a little bit differently.
I love how you have taken the things that seem very difficult. I'm in my car all day for work. I'm going here, there, everywhere. My husband is a meat eater and he's the cook in the family and he shows his love through food.
Hmm.
And I'm going on vacation. Three things that could make this very difficult for you. You lost weight every week.
Right.
And
Hmm.
it's really not that hard. And here's
No.
why, Amy, you have had such grace with yourself and you've committed to progress, not treating this as a crash diet cult that you have to do 100% because at the end of the
Right.
6 weeks, you're going to have a big binge and go off of it.
Right. Right. And I'm still doing exactly what I've been doing. Everything you all taught me, I have listened, I have incorporated it, and I'm still doing it. It's really not difficult. It's really not difficult. It is not a cult. It's not a diet. It's just a great way of eating. Whole food, plant-based is a great way of eating. It makes you feel so much better. And the plus part is you'll lose weight naturally. For me, eating this way every day is so easy. And when you feel good, you want to keep doing it.
Any words of wisdom for individuals that are in the position that you were in before joining the program, in the menopause, weight gain, and dealing with all of that? What would you say to
Right.
those women?
Oh, I would say don't get discouraged. Just, try and do your best. Sometimes it's so hard to do things 100%. You don't have to do it 100%. Just do the best you can every single day. If you can only do one meal this way, start with one meal and then incorporate another. And then after a while, you can be like, this is easy. I feel really good. It's not like you're eating weird and different foods. You're eating real food, which is so important, and it's easy, and it's not, you're not slaving over the stove cooking a million recipes. They're easy, easy things to put together. And for me, especially eating, having to eat on the road every day, I've really learned that how easy it really is. And sauces are important. Sauces are important.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Amy. This was beautiful.
Thank you. I really appreciate everything you and your team has done and taught me. And I've incorporated so much and feel so, so much better.
If Amy did anything during this interview, she made us see how easy it can be to maintain this lifestyle, even when all odds are against you. So thank you, Amy, for inspiring us. And comment easy if you made it to this point in the video, because Amy is just making this look so easy for us. If you want to work with me and my team, please click the link in the down bar, and I will see you, honeys, in my next video.